Mm-hmm. Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, mic check. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2. No, oh, anything, neither. Mm-hmm. Yep.
1, 2. Yeah, it's going down right here.
On GFN Radio. Yes, it's going down. The best in throwback hits with your boy, Wayne G. Y'all don't know nothing about these
And
mighty
DJ
G forces.
DJ Nori. It's going down right here. The best in throwback. You know how we do it. What's up, Nori?
What's up, G? How you doing?
Oh man, hanging in there.
Oh my goodness. It is Friday.
Man, hey, are these days blowing by like crazy, or is it me? Is a week just
I think any other time I would have said, you know what, G, it's you and you're just crazy. But you know what? It's these days.
yeah,
Listen, this time is going. Do you realize that we are already in 2023?
yeah. And it seemed like it's
And
4 day.
January is halfway
Right.
over.
It seemed like we having 4 day weeks, not 7. That's how quick the days is going. I look up, I'm like, damn, it's back to the weekend again.
Yes, it's moving. I'm looking up like, oh, it's. I gotta get ready for bed. It's Monday in the morning.
And then you got warning before destruction.
Yes.
It's getting scarier and scarier. I looked up and a 6-year-old kid shoots the teacher.
Isn't that crazy? That is the craziest thing. First of all, where are we getting these weapons from, these little kids? Secondly, it takes 7 pounds of pressure to release a bullet from a weapon.
This kid has been trained to shoot.
Something is going on.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's no random thing where I mean most people got an automatic to start with. So I would doubt that you would have your automatic weapon in the house with a chamber, a clip, a bullet in the
In the chamber, yeah. And remember how they used to be like, oh, we need to lock it up, we need to put it up. You
Yeah.
were so safe with it, right? So that the kids didn't get it or whatever the case may be. Now, they're just so easily accessible.
Yeah, well, maybe they doing what they doing with the cell phones. Kids get guns now. They buy.
Hey.
I just don't know. I know that kid had to be skilled in using that weapon,
Yeah.
for them to just.
This is ridiculous. It's sad. It is really, really sad. And so I shouts out to that teacher. I hope that she's, recovering well. Like it is really tough. Nowadays, you can't even tell the kids anything. I was talking to someone the other day, and you and I talk all the time too, as it relates to like having children, and for some reason you just want me to have a baby child.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so with that being said, like back in the day, our parents used to send us to school, and at school, our second parent was our teachers.
Right.
Whether it be male or female, and it wasn't a lot of male teachers at that time, right? But those male teachers were very well respected. The teachers, the female teachers were well respected as well, because they were the ones that were disciplining us, teaching us, nurturing us, right? Because that was our second parent. Back in the day, we used to be able to go to the police, and if we weren't safe or if we were lost and stuff like that, we could go to the police. Now we can't do any of that. There are no foundational safety principles for our children. Parents are literally going out of their minds just trying to keep the kids safe
Right.
from one place to the next. You know, we fuss at Els all the time because when we're in the store and she'll be trying to play and stuff and she'll dot around the corner or whatever, you know, and we'll be like, no, don't do that or whatever. Well, I can tell when my sister gets really frantic because she will say it and she'll say stuff like, all right, somebody gonna snatch your little ass and you gonna be missing. You know, you can tell that's at the forefront of her mind and she's fearful of that. You know, the crazy part is you used to be able to call the police and say something about it. Now, some of the police are involved in the trafficking and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's just sad the way that the world is today. You know,
because when you look at it, you know, black kids is in danger of being snatched. Once upon a time,
Yes.
they weren't snatching black kids. You look up and you see an extra kid with your kids. Somebody didn't get theirs up. You know,
Right.
but today is the money is out the country now.
it's crazy. That's why
That's a new commodity.
That's why the topic is warning before destruction
Yes.
today. It's some serious. Guys, make sure you share this. Please, please, please go ahead and hit share on your devices right now. Hit share. You hit share and let me know that you shared it. I will shout you out. So let's get into the garbage, basically, the news really quick. You know, Donald Trump Friday, a judge sentenced his real estate company to pay $1.6 million in criminal penalties after being convicted of scheming for defrauding tax authorities for 15 years. Now, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. For 15 years defrauding the government,
Yeah.
$1.61 million. And you know he not even scared of nothing. He ain't scared to go to jail. He ain't scared. He not afraid of any of that. Now, you know, if it was one of us, we'll be already laying the bricks to our newfound home that we're going to be in for the rest of our lives, because who can't pay $1.61 million? Who can't pay that?
Yeah, and honestly, I believe that you don't make it in this country being as big as he was, owing, and nobody ain't never stepped to you into now.
And ain't nobody never said nothing?
Right.
Yeah, right.
Right. So, you know, the thing is, he's not playing the game the way they want him to play the game. See, when he got around the higher echelon, he started talking too much. He started telling the truth about things. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, Donald Trump, he's like Kanye West. They tell the truth in their own way. That's up to you, because even when the COVID first hit, he was the first one to say fake news. Fake news.
Right.
They trying to mess up my election. You know, he ran it down left and right the way it probably really was.
Right. Well, you know, I believe you are absolutely correct. And I believe that was coming out because you know how he always, like you said, he's giving you the truth or whatever on the side.
Yeah.
But then when he was running and stuff, he was throwing people under the bus and slandering them and asking Obama for his birth certificate and stuff like that, which in turn they start saying, oh, okay, well, show us your tax documents.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So you got to make sure that you
He didn't
have
play the
this
game.
stuff.
He didn't play the game they way. And basically, this investigation is coming out to make sure he can't run for president again.
Well, I believe that as well.
Yeah, you know, it's like, yo, we got this dude out. I mean, come on, who out of all the presidents we ever had, there was no president that had more power of influence over people the way this nut did.
Right. I mean, because he already had that power of influence before he became president.
Right.
You know, he was an influential person before he became president because of like the Trump Towers and all of his real estate and everything.
And the shows he was doing. But what president you ever knew that didn't get voted and the people stormed the White House?
Isn't that
you know,
crazy?
I mean, that's some real powerful
that's
stuff
them goons.
right there.
He got them goons.
Yeah. And you talk about, you have police officers, you had people, doctors, all walks of life.
Very intelligent, intellectual people. Yeah, all walks of life,
so
like you said.
they can't never risk this dude getting in there
Again.
and knowing more secrets, because he knows secrets on this country.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, no, they just,
Yeah. The other thing was Damar Hamlin.
Yeah.
You know, he's been released from the hospital.
Yeah.
Those that may not remember, it was just a week ago. Damar Hamlin is a football player for the Buffalo Bills, and he suffered cardiac arrest mid-game after making a tackle, and he was rushed to the hospital from the field. They actually resuscitated him right there on the field. They like saved his life. On the field, and then they rushed him out and everything. And I was asking somebody about that because I was like, well, how is that possible? You know, the first thing that we think of is, well, oh my God, they doing these drugs, or they doing steroids, and, you know, they hard bad and all of this old stuff, right? Everybody wants to start speculating. So I was talking to someone that's really, really influential in the field of, you know, sports and stuff like that, the sports industry. And he was saying that sometimes, you know, their adrenaline and stuff is already pumping, and they can go in and they can hit them really hard for a tackle, and it kind of knocks their heart rhythm off.
Right.
And I was like, wow, that does make sense, because when you think about football players and, you know, football being one of the most physical contact of sport, and how it adjusts the brain and things like that when you make those hits and stuff, and how people, after they've been playing for a while and they get out of the field and stuff, and then you find out that they have these brain injuries and stuff like that. I was like, oh, I think I can see, you know, how that could take place with the heart as well. You know, so you just got to be mindful of stuff like that, which, again, that's why the topic is called Warning Before Destruction, because your body gives you warnings.
Right.
You know?
And I've also heard that, is it something that's considered with these BAPs? That's
With
what we
what?
call them, the BAPs. You know, those shots, the BAPs.
I don't know. Explain it to me. What is BAPS?
Well, we can't use the word because that it can block. You know what I'm talking about. You know what we just had, the pandemic and all that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And the thing is, everything has a kickback. Like, certain people can do certain things. Certain people, that's like, even when you talking about when you taking medicines, it tell you things that your body could be allergic to.
Correct.
You know, it's certain things that people is allergic to. Peanuts can
Right.
kill certain people if
Correct.
they don't recognize that they are
Allergic to them.
right. So a lot of this stuff has been taken into format that you can't play unless you know, do this, you can't do that. And it's not a long-term study on how it can go later on. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I mean,
Right.
you know, we see the FDA all the time shutting things down after 5 years of research, and a lot of people, if you took the drug fentanyl, you know, so we don't know if that could be something. That's something that they're gonna have to look into as it goes on,
Because it was so new. That's what you were saying. As far
right,
as the,
it's no long-term research to see.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just like you have people that I know that drink liquor. They were alcoholics,
right,
and they lived a long life.
right,
My mother never drank, and you know, my stepmom, she never drank, but she was out of here before she was 60. Her husband was an alcoholic in so many ways. This dude was here to 82. So
well, you know they say you can't kill a crackhead. You
Right,
know?
right.
A crackhead be around for 100 years. You be looking like, and somebody that done lived a very long, healthy life, you know, a strong life,
Right,
they
right.
end up getting their life cut short. You know,
crackheads made it through the AIDS era,
yes,
the COVID era.
they done made it through everything.
Yeah,
You hear
they
me?
you know, and they still out there on the corner. Right now, they got tents pitched all over the city.
doing their thing. But when you said something about, you know, the BAPS,
that's
when you talked about that, remember how I spoke about, you know, I had gone to the doctor, and my doctor, you know, my regular appointment at my annual, and got all my numbers and everything ran and stuff, and my liver was some crazy number. I think it was like 1,100 or something like that.
They're very high.
Yeah, and so I had to go and keep getting it tested and stuff like that, and how she was saying that I was, you know, having problems with my liver, to the point of where, like, my numbers was so high, it was past, like what you were saying as far as an alcoholic, it was past that. And so we had to keep getting these tests ran and stuff like that, and she said that it was because of that, you know, the shot of the BAP. So just you're right. We have to be
Right.
mindful of stuff like
Right.
that. But again, the body will tell you.
Yeah, because some people body will settle in. You know what I'm saying? But this,
And the body is really resilient. So a lot
Right.
of things that happens, the body will settle into it. But it's some things that the body just gonna be like, wait a minute, it will reject it.
right.
You
Well,
know?
we'll take age for instance. The virus didn't die down. Your resistance just picked up.
Correct.
You know what I'm
Correct.
saying? At one time, if you got HIV, AIDS, you better start kissing family members goodbye
Correct.
because you had 6 months to maybe a year and you
Right.
was out of here. There was, I don't care anything, but after a while, our body develops a natural
Resistance.
resistance, and now people, they get sick with it, but they can live with it now.
Right.
Oh, you
It
can,
builds up the immunity to
right,
it.
right. So, what you seeing with the BAPS, and you don't see as many, even though other strains is coming out. But the original strain is nowhere where it was at one time because people's bodies is building up that immunity to it. So,
I mean, and the sad part about it is, that the government just needs to stop playing around with this different stuff over
Right.
in these labs and stop making this stuff. And then
Right.
they get into it with people or whatever, and these different scientists and stuff like that, and they pisses them off, and then they release different stuff.
Right.
Yeah. And people know that I used to work for the government. There are certain things that I can't say or that I will not speak on.
Right.
But those different things right there, yes, those are my
Yeah.
opinions, and y'all need to stop doing that foolishness and playing around with them labs and
'Cause that's
making
all-
them doggone scientists upset
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
allowing them to release that stuff.
yeah, because that's all chemical warfare.
That's
that
it.
they setting up. I mean, that's a silent killer being released to your enemy. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And that's a lot of people don't understand. That's what Vladimir Putin main reason why he went after what's the ones he going to war with?
Russia? Who you talking
Russia, Ukraine.
about? Yeah.
That's the one reason why, because he found out that Ukraine was allowing the United States to put labs out there in Ukraine. And he was like, oh no, you're not going to trap me off over here where you right next door to me. So if there's any type of nuclear anything, hell, you got to send your bombs over the United States. They right there next door to you. So
Yeah.
it was more about, because what else could Russia want in Ukraine? What do they have there?
Right. I mean, it's just, again, it's all politics and
Right.
just being able to, communicate and come to a common ground. And a lot of times when the ego gets involved, then that's when you have those type of, problems of power.
That is the problem, what you just said. They get involved with everybody but their own country. You got people sleeping out on the streets, and all of them ain't on drugs. Some people
Correct.
just lost their way of being able to survive in this country.
Some people are not able to get a job. I mean,
Right.
and I was just talking to someone about this today. She's a actual recruiter, and I was talking to her today as far as me being, degreed. I have my master's and my undergrad, everything. I'm certified, from a couple of agencies, like everything. And then you look out there at these different jobs or whatever, and sometimes they just want to pay you like the bare minimum because
Right.
they need people in there, and it's like, oh, these people need a job, and so you can pay them anything. You have millions of entrepreneurs out here now. People are not just settling for anything.
Right.
So you have, like you were saying, some very, very intellectual, wealthy by knowledge people that's living on the streets.
Right.
Which brings me to 50 Cent. 50 Cent had to apologize. Well, he didn't have to, but he apologized to Megan Good. When I say Megan Good, Lord help. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm tired. To Megan the Stallion.
The Stallion.
He apologized to Meg the Stallion after she won her case against Tory Lanez. And y'all know I love me some 50 Cent. I love 50 Cent for his humor and his pettiness or whatever, but
Yeah.
he's just entertaining. But 50 Cent is really a very intelligent person. I spoke about his book when I was here before. Remember, I was talking about Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter when I first started doing shows here. And it was one part of the book that has been very impactful to me and has really stuck with me for a time. And that is, you don't owe anyone anything. And neither does anyone owe you anything. And so when we were talking about the people that's out there or whatever, it's hard, but we're going to have to like put our hands to the plow and, get back to the basics and figure out what we need to do in order to turn some things around. So it's hard.
And you about qualified with all your degrees to work at Amazon.
Well, you're laughing, but Amazon
real.
HR pays like $161,000 a year.
Yeah,
So
well-
I will work at Amazon's HR department.
No, I'm saying you maybe make it to the HR, but most people today, they got to go and sling the boxes on the truck.
Correct.
I mean, it's
Yep.
just everything that we look at today, robots is replacing people,
Mm-hmm.
and people need to start looking at that. You go in Walmart, now you got those kids in the back stocking.
Right,
for
and it's almost
deliveries.
nobody out front.
Right, nobody out front.
Yeah.
You pretty much handling your own thing. That's like the new sack and save, What I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because nobody bagging
For
up
real.
your stuff. You got to do it all on your own,
For
so.
real. And I mean, it's no for us as a disclaimer, there's no slate to those that have to work at Amazon in the warehouse or stocking groceries or anything like that. Of course, I've done it as well. I used to work for Frito-Lay. I used to work for UPS.
Right.
So it's no slate against those that have to do those things to
Right.
provide for their family. But what we're saying is, G is saying that I'm degreed with a master's and everything and certified, and right now I can go and get just a job at
Right.
stocking groceries or, a warehouse because things are so bad in the economy right now.
Yeah, these companies are rearranging for the future, and the future says robots.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It doesn't have a bright future for us unless we into computer programming and stuff like
Some
that.
type of technology.
Right, because I mean, it's just it is what it is. You got certain places like I forgot which one it was, Denny's, that got robots.
Like
Waiters. Yeah, that come out and bring the
Really?
food to the table and all that. Yeah.
So we're actually living in the times of the Jetsons.
Well, it's happening. I mean, look at these Teslas. It's letting you know the car. You can just go to sleep. Leave it to the car to get you where you need to go. So what does that do? It makes man much more lazier.
Yeah.
When you got these kids in the back stocking instead of being at the front at the register.
Getting customer service
There you
and
go.
getting communication with
There you
people
go.
and relationships and stuff.
There you go. See, we living in a time where our young kids is not getting that social.
That's it.
They got social media, but they don't have that social connection
Interaction with
to
people.
And that's why we have so many killings going on for no
Yes.
reason at all, because
Yes.
there's no socialness to talk things out and discuss things. It's all about.
it's no human value in it, right? They can't see how the life would be lost, or they don't feel if the life was to be lost, right?
Right.
Because they're not socially connected. Like you said, it's social media, but
Right.
there's no connection
Right.
to that person.
Right. And we need that from
Yeah.
a baby. We need to have that social connection.
Right. I mean, but just think about it. Even like when you were saying social media, they will play video games that will kill people and take their stuff and rob them and carjack and this different stuff. There is no they don't make the connection on how this would affect a real human being. Oh, I was just playing a video game.
Yeah.
So let me go and see how it would be if I tried for real.
And what started them to not even get involved when someone is being assaulted to be hurt, because you watched all these videos of people pulling out their camera phones and
desensitized.
watch them get beat up, and that was very entertaining to you to sit there and watch somebody get beat up and sometimes die. So nobody gets involved. Nobody don't take that phone and say, let me call 911, even if I don't want to get involved with it. But the fact of it is, we're living in a dangerous time.
I mean, and now it's, if I call 911, I mean, I might be killed. You just never know. Because if you think about, the situation where all the camera stuff started coming out was with Rodney King, right? And he was beaten up by the police. And then now to this last one that was killed by the police, and I Can't Breathe. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, you just never know. Guys, make sure you share this. Please share. Let me know that you shared it again, and I will shout you out. So last night, G, Fitness by Nori had the Total Body Experience Fitness Party. Baby, let me tell you, it was fire. I'm talking about we had a live DJ and everything at the DeSoto Recreation Center. You know, I had, merchandise and stuff for sale and everything out there. It was just fire. Okay. The whole workout and everything was crazy. It was different than what we usually do. And I mean, we just had a ball. Okay.
Yeah.
All in the name of fitness and trying to be healthy and keeping our health and wellness goals at the forefront of our
So
minds.
there was no cake and ice cream around.
And it wasn't any cake and ice cream. And you know me. You know I normally would bring a cupcake or something, But I was like, no, we're going to do a fitness party. And I said, I think I want to do these more often, where we bring them in and we have different stuff going on. Even if I bring in different instructors and stuff like that to kind of highlight them and just do a different workout and stuff like that. It was so much fun. I mean, just different music. I mean, when I told the DJ, like, just play whatever you want to play, let's see if we can rock with it, and we actually had fun. He kind of went back to the 90s. It was the one song. What is it? Spread your legs, arch your back. Baby, we just started doing squats and we was running it. And I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy. So I went live on Facebook. It's on there.
I need to go check it out.
Yeah, it's on there.
What happened with my girl Ellery? She wasn't invited?
Ellery is invited to everything.
Oh, okay.
And you will see her on the picture as well. She is in the picture.
Did
Okay.
she block the camera?
Did not.
Okay.
She got there a little late. Her mom got off from work late and she, of course, had to pick her up and then they came, but they're going to always be there to support me. And so it's a part in the video, on Facebook when I stop and I run back there because I seen her come through the door and I was like, hey, baby, but I got my headset on so you could hear all that in the microphone.
And that's good because she's going to be so social.
Yeah.
Because you're training her at a young age to
deal
be
with
able to be
people.
around, to deal with people.
That's right. That's right. And last night, I don't know what was going on with her or whatever. I mean, she was just really emotional last night.
Really?
She was really emotional. And I mean, just kept crying. And she ended up getting in the car with me because her mom came to my house afterwards, because I had a whole lot of stuff and get a lot of stuff out the car and all that. And so she rode with me. I was like, you want to ride with me? And she was like, yes. So while we were driving, I was like, what's wrong? And she was like, I don't like when I hurt my mom's feelings. I was like, your mom's feelings are not hurt. She's fine. Everything is good with her. And she was like, I just feel bad. And I said, why? She said, for my mom. And I said, girl, you so dramatic. Like you're, she needs to be on a movie,
but
right?
at least she had feelings.
She does. I mean, of course.
Yeah, a lot of children don't display their feelings.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
And she's a love child, she's allowed to express herself. Even when she wants to say something like fly or whatever, we allow her to say whatever she wants to say and do whatever she wants to do. And then we're able to correct that. You know what I'm saying? So she'll know how to act when she's in public and stuff. Or you can say that, but there's a nicer way to say that, you don't want to hurt someone's feelings. Or if you say it like that, you're going to definitely hurt somebody's feelings, So are you okay with that? If you're okay with that, I mean, then go ahead and do it. But if you're not, and we know that she's not because she's really sensitive, right? And you might want to say it like this. And she's like, okay, but she don't get a lot of like spankings and stuff like that. We give her that look, we will run up on her,
Yeah, like you did when she was in front of that camera.
Yeah, she'll think she gonna die, but
yeah.
That baby, she's so smart. Child, ain't nothing gonna happen to her. Anyway, so guys, if you are looking for some good, fun fitness, please come to the DeSoto Recreation Center, 211 East Pleasant Run Road in DeSoto, Texas, 75115. I am there Monday through Thursdays at 5 a.m., Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. Every Monday is the trampoline class, except for the days that they close the recreation center. Tomorrow is Saturday. Monday is Martin Luther King. They're
That's a holiday.
Yes, they
Right,
are
yeah.
recognizing Martin Luther King on Monday, this coming Monday, the 16th. So they will be closed on Monday. But other than that, on Mondays, we do the trampoline class at 7 p.m. And Tuesday through Thursday, we do the regular Fitness by Nori, total body experience, hit workout. So, guys, come out, show your support. If you are looking for a place to, if you're looking for a place to hit your health and wellness goals and have fun at the same time in a friendly, welcoming environment with no mess, because we don't, you know what, and that's crazy, where you find a lot of people, they used to say where you find a lot of women, you find mess. In our fitness group, like we don't talk about each other, we don't do none, like it's just it's so much fun and family oriented. We had one young lady, she's from Indianapolis, and she said that she's been here for 3 years and she really didn't go out and do anything. And I was speaking at a luncheon and invited, the different ladies to the class, and she came out and she said she's really glad to be there. It feels like family. And I love that. That was one of my prayers when I started Fitness by Nori is, God, I want this to be a place where women can come and enjoy themselves and release and not have to worry about the stress of watching their backs and all of that stuff, because that's what happened to me. I thought I had found a family and and fell in love with fitness and stuff, and ended up getting hurt. So I didn't want to create that same environment, and so I'm so grateful that we have that. So guys, if you want to be a part of something great and growing, then come on out. Follow Fitness by Nori on all social platforms. We're at the DeSoto Recreation Center.
It's over the years, it just seems like men have become more messy and gossipy than women have.
Yeah.
I didn't see that before, but today it's like that.
Right.
You see more guys that are moving to gossip than you see women do.
Right. I was talking to a friend the other day, and he said the same thing. He said, that's just not something, because I was asking him to talk about something, and he was like, that's just not something that men do. I said, what do you mean? He was like, men don't sit up and talk and stuff like that. That's a woman's trait. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, we don't talk the same way, because it's certain things like women can always connect with. It's like when I came up and seen my stepmother, she was more connected with her friends. They talked on the phone. Father, he comes in, he get his meal. He may take him a bath and then he going to bed.
Right.
He
Drink
doesn't
him a
have
beer or
that.
something, and it's over.
Right. My mother all day long. They on the telephone. They talking. They sharing different things. If you having a bad relationship, you can call your friend up and y'all can work through that. Y'all can discuss, well, girl, maybe this, maybe that. Hey, let's just go out and clear our minds and stuff like that. So y'all can share that. Men talking to each other about their women.
Right.
That's a whole different project, because
Right.
the next man be looking at you, listening to your story, talking about you weak as hell, man. You know what I'm saying?
Or they be waiting to go and get her.
Right. So, certain things, like I say, that's why a man's stress level is so much more higher, because he doesn't have too many places he can have that release point.
Correct.
We were taught we shouldn't cry. We shouldn't this. We shouldn't that.
Correct.
Be strong. You know what I'm saying? So,
that's true, G. That leads us into the topic today. Warning cometh before destruction. The Bible tells us in Proverbs 16:18 that pride cometh before destruction, right? And a haughty spirit before a fall. And that's what it is. It's a warning. Our bodies give off certain warning signs. Like when you say, G, that we were taught that men aren't supposed to cry.
Right.
And then I believe that subconsciously it was a counteract or a fight towards the feminine, because it was more or less like, don't be sitting there crying like a girl.
Right.
Like the girls are supposed to cry.
Right.
Right. And so it's nothing wrong with crying or releasing as well. Understand this, tears, when you cry, tears release at least 26 toxins, and people don't know that. it releases at least 26 toxins from the body. So when baby want to cry, we sit there and we let her cry. We let her cry for a time, and then we go in there and be like, hey, enough is enough. Like, are you okay? Come on, let's talk this thing out, right? Because an excess of anything is not good, right? So the body, you have to know your body, and in order to know your body, you have to pay attention to it, and in
Right.
order to pay attention to it, you have to slow down. And a lot of times, especially in this fast moving, fast paced life where we were just talking about, we done went through 4 days and we're already at the new week again instead of 7 days, right? It doesn't give us the opportunity to slow down and pay attention to ourselves. Sometimes when you look at yourself in the mirror and you see your eyes starting to dim, it's something going on. Do you see the bags and stuff under your eyes? You may need rest. You may need sleep. You may need water in order to hydrate. You may need some vitamins, because we're supposed to get our vitamins from our food source, right? But something that you said earlier when you were talking about the FDA, one thing that I have always understood about the FDA is there's an absolute contradiction with the FDA. FDA stands for Food and Drug Administration.
Right.
Food and Drug
right.
Administration, right? So they are governing the food, they're testing and all of that. And of course, they know that it's not healthy as we need it to be or whatever. So they're creating a drug to counteract that symptom. They're not creating a drug to fix the problem, because, of course, there is no money in health, guys. There is no money in health. So my desire is to put the industry of sickness out of business, because that's what they're doing. They are taking care of sickness. They're not taking care of health. They doctors and stuff will prescribe you a prescription that will lead to all of these different side effects or whatever that you were talking about just a minute ago. And the crazy part about it is, on the infomercials and stuff, they go through the side effects really, really fast so that your brain won't register those. And then, like you always make fun about it, G, is then they end up walking around and they're pooping on themselves,
Yeah.
So you have to be mindful. And one thing that people, and they used to say black people, but it's not just black people, it's a lot of people, period. One thing that we do not do, we don't study to show thyself approved. And that's the scripture of it, right? But what that is actually saying is, do your own research, do your due diligence. And we don't research. We don't look at the stuff on the back of the jar and say, what does this mean? What is this saying? We don't say that, and then go and research it. Find out, what does this name mean? What is this? Why can't I even pronounce it? Those things that you're not supposed to put that in your body. So we need to do our due diligence. We need to be more mindful of the things that we're putting in our body, especially if we're wanting to live longer and be healthy in that life.
I told you,
It's been 3
cutting
weeks.
the sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sodas and all that, because sodas was my main.
Congratulations, G.
Yeah.
Y'all, we gonna give a shout out to G. It's been 3 weeks that G has not had any sodas and added sugars and all of that, cookies, candy, all of that type of stuff.
Yeah,
so we're gonna give G a shout out. Good job, G.
Thank you. It's been hard because I went in the store the other day, and I kind of was getting headaches when I walked through the cookie area and all that stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, I gotta get out of here.
Well, it's funny that you would say that, because it is a such thing called withdrawals.
Yeah.
Because sugar sends off the same endorphins in the brain as drugs do, know, and so it allows you to get addicted to that, and sugar is in everything. Everything. Read the back of your labels. Sugar is in everything, because they know that it will get you addicted and cause you to keep coming back for it. For me, I was able to cut sodas back in 99, 2000, something like that. I was able to cut sodas because I read an article, and some people they're not able to do it just that cut and dry. But I read an article and I made the connection with my aunt because they said how you have to drink so much water in order to dilute the can of soda that you drink. Well, you're already supposed to be drinking 64 ounces of water anyways, right? But you have to turn around and drink another 64 ounces of water for every can of soda that you drink in order to dilute that soda and caffeine and all of that out of the body. And if you don't drink that, then it takes the calcium out of your bones. Well, I made that connection with my aunt because ever since I've known her, she's always drank sodas. Pepsi was her soda, right? And she's always drank it. And we would have to take her to the doctor. She had to get IVs and different stuff like that because she did not drink water. Now, you can't keep her from water. She doesn't drink sodas anymore or any of that, but she's already had a total knee replacement on one side. She's had back issues, slip disc and all of that because the soda will just continue to remove these things from the body.
Yeah.
Warning comes before destruction. Pay attention to your body. Pay attention to the things that your body is saying. Your body is having a conversation with itself all day, every day. That's why I tell my clients, eat more often. A lot of times they're like, I don't understand why I'm not losing weight. And I'll say, well, tell me, how are you eating or what is your diet? And, we'll go down that whole vein. 9 out of 10 times, it's always that they are not eating enough.
They're starving their body.
Yeah. How do you not lose weight? How do you not lose weight and I'm not eating as much? Because like you said, G, you're starving yourself and your body doesn't know the next time that you're going to feed it.
So it's storing.
It stores it. Correct. It holds on to it. And so if you feed yourself every 2 to 3 hours, not saying large meals, I mean, a handful of nuts and some water, right? A piece of fruit and some water.
Hey, you just confused some prostitutes there.
Huh?
You just confused some prostitutes there.
I don't understand.
You said a handful of nuts.
Oh my God, G. Okay, a handful of almonds,
Yes,
a handful
thank
of
you.
peanuts, some cashews, and those are healthy fats as well. So you can get a handful of those, maybe 10, 12, of those cashews, almonds, things like that, right? And eat that, drink a glass of water, a piece of fruit, drink a glass of water, a small meal, right? Use some veggies, some rice, and a protein. Eat that, for lunch or something. Like every 2-3 hours, eat something and watch your body. And I always tell people, give yourself about 4 days. Give yourself about 4 days and try that. And by the 4th day, you're going to be like, every 2-3 hours, you're going to be like, why am I so freaking hungry? It's going to be to the point to where you're going to be hangry. You're going to have an attitude. You're going to want something to eat. But it's your body releasing it for you, and it's causing more food to go in so you can release it. And it will actually help you lose weight because what it does is it turns on your metabolism.
Right.
So, yeah, your fat burning system. So warning comes before destruction, guys. Make sure that you are paying attention to yourself. Water is very, very important. Depending on who you talk to, some says that water is even more important than food. And I am one of those that would say that water is more important. If you had the choice to say, I want this much water or this much food, I would choose the water. You can live without food for a certain amount of time. It's hard for you to live without water when your body is, depending on what you read, 60 to 80% water.
Right.
G, you and I were just talking about that before the show. Majority of the water that's in your body, your brain sits in that water. And so when you start having foggy brain and, you go in this room and you forget what you went in there for.
I've been there.
Yeah, then that's, one of the reasons. G, you were saying something about you had gone to the grocery store or something.
Yeah, and I kind of like, it's like things was kind of like moving in animation to a point, like.
You like hazed out a little bit.
I know I'm here, but what the hell did I come in here for? I'm picking up everything but what I actually came in, for. So I knew the sugar was getting the best of me, and I needed to do something about that, you know. And it starts with you. You know, you can go to any type of training, anything you want. If you're not gonna follow what needs to be done, it's just a waste of your time and your money if you're paying someone.
Correct.
So you have to get in your heart that you truly ready to make certain sacrifices
Right.
before, any of that'll work. Like you said, eating frequently. People don't eat frequently. That's by habit. That's not, it's not something they used to. So now you have to readjust and say, okay, every couple of hours I'm going to eat something.
Right.
Even if it's some peanuts, ladies, peanuts and cashews. And,
Yep. And
Yeah.
pistachios
Yeah,
and different things like that, almonds, we want to make sure that we're clear and we don't just lump it in a whole, and, by way of nuts. And we
Yeah.
want to make sure we're specific.
Yeah,
But
because you can't call your man and say, hey, baby, bring me some nuts.
he going to be like, all right, I'll be right there.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so, we got people with screwed up minds, so sometimes I just got to break it clear so they know.
Right.
Yeah.
But those are some healthy fats as well. A lot of times when we say eat fats, people be like, if I eat some fat, it's going to make me fat. Well, it will not. If you give your body what it needs, it will heal itself, okay? Hippocrates say, let your food be your medicine and your medicine be your food. So if you give yourself your fats, it will release the fat. If you give yourself more water, it will release the water. Think about that, guys. If you hold on to something that's in your hand, then it can't get anything else in there. So the only thing that's in there is the only thing that you have. So whatever is in there is going to start, you're going to either lose it because you don't have as much. It's going to start to go bad and rot or whatever because you're holding on to it. It's not getting any air, not getting any life, right? But if you hold your hand open and you allow it to flow, that's what the body does. It flows. Everything is energy. So you put fat in, fat comes out. You put water in, water comes out. So you want everything to keep moving, okay? So some good fats and stuff, like we spoke about, are the different nuts. One of the fats that I eat every day is avocado. I eat a half an avocado every day. So just think about those things. Salmon has fats in it, omega-3s that the body need. Just think about your food sources and make sure that you're picking good choices of food. And guys, don't eat cheap food. Don't eat cheap food. And yes, I said it. Cheap food. Ramen noodles, things like that. McDonald's and fast food and all of that. Cheap food gives your body a cheap existence. Okay? So don't eat cheap food. If you go out and you put, $500 on your feet, $395 belt on your waist, a $300 cap, some $300 shades and all of that. You put Gucci and Louis Vuitton and all of this on your body or whatever, but your body is breaking down. What is the purpose? You go and you spend all of this money on all of these designer things and you work hard for this money every day and allow it to slip out your hands and go to someone else, but your body is declining swiftly, then what is the purpose? Your health is wealth, okay? The wealth is in your health. So make sure you take care of yourself.
And a lot of times, people, I'm not going to eat any type of meat. Well, if you don't, you got to make sure you replace those proteins.
Correct.
In your body.
Your proteins and stuff, it's thank you for bringing that up, G. There are proteins and stuff in vegetables. I'm a pescatarian, so I only eat seafood or whatever. I've been trying to introduce turkey back into my diet here lately or whatever. It's just by choice. But and I never stopped eating meat because I was like, a radical or anything like that. I was doing it because we was trying to figure out what was going on with my skin, right? And so the different hormones and stuff that they put in the meats and stuff like that. But guys, go to the Whole Food store, ask them for, the meat that's farm raised and different stuff like that, right? Ask questions. And get the healthier foods. You don't have to get the food with all the hormones and stuff like that in there. Become, build relationships like G was just talking about being social. Build relationships with these people that have these farms and different stuff like that. These people sell their stuff at farmers market. Yeah. They will sell their stuff to you.
You go down to farmers market sometimes?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to go down there because I didn't even realize they had beautiful plants and stuff and all that down there. So, one day when I go, I'm gonna call you.
Holla at me.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Absolutely.
meet you
I'm
down
like 5, 7 minutes from downtown. So I would definitely meet you down there. But yeah, farmers market, they have farmers out there that actually come and bring their products and
Yeah,
stuff there. So build relationships with them. They will sell their products to you, you know, because of course, if they have all this stuff, they need to sell it or else it's going to
yeah,
go
yeah.
bad. And it's good stuff that doesn't have all those hormones and all that stuff in it.
Yeah, yeah.
So those are some, you know, just some ideas or whatever. But you know, when you were talking about the plants and stuff, as far as protein, you don't have to eat meat if you don't want to eat meat. You don't have to eat meat. You can replace that with a plant-based protein. Think about this. And people always, oh, you got to have meat. Oh my God. There are many, now there are several vegan bodybuilders and athletes and all of that. You just make sure that you give yourself the protein that you need.
Right.
And most of those comes from plants. Okay. The one of the healthiest animals out here, and you use that animal for everything, plowing and all of that, are horses. They do not eat meat. So cows, they don't eat meat, they eat grass. So think about that, okay? Make sure that, and nobody is telling you not to eat meat because I still do, by way of fish, right? By way of seafood. But nobody is telling you not to do that, but those that choose to, don't beat them across the head because that is a choice that they decide to make.
Right.
They're doing that because that's something that they want to do. And it's a good thing to do because if you get back closer to where we're supposed to be and get your body back closer to where it's supposed to be, which is the dirt from the earth, then you will be more healthier.
Right.
You know, and that's by way of fruit and plants and veggies and nuts and things like that. You know? So hopefully this was helpful and hopefully people shared it and stuff. Hey, Renee. Hey, Terry.
In the health food stores.
Yeah.
Go there, you know, and they got a lot of natural stuff that can really help you. You know, if you can go there and talk to certain people and tell them, you know, what your body is deficient in, they can help you. You know what I mean? By taking, you know, natural. I mean, I don't like, you know, taking just pills and medicine. I go to the health food store and try to get that. I just found me some ginseng.
Okay. Hey, Cedric Bailey. Hey, ginseng is really, really good. And like you were saying, the health food stores and stuff, yes, they have a lot of healthy stuff there. But guys, also you want to make sure that you're careful. Okay. Again, do your due diligence. A lot of things are masks by the word health, healthy, stuff like that. But you want to make sure that you do your due diligence and you research for yourself because some of that stuff is, I mean, to be honest with you, some of it is not healthy. They're just, they're able to, or they have enough evidence in them to fall under the health side, but they're really not healthy. Just like, think about this, like, what is it, like Sub-Zero or whatever the Coca-Cola is, and it's zero sugar, zero
That's
this.
still
It's sweetened with something.
Yeah.
If you read it or whatever, it's a man-made sugar. Or
they tell you
man-made
diet sodas is just as worse as regular sodas.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Diet sodas are worse than anything, and I think they're sweetened. If I'm not mistaken, the last time I checked, it was like aspartame or something like that. It's a man-made sweetener. So you want to be careful, guys. Make sure you do your due diligence. Listen, you can listen to shows like this. You can listen to podcasts. You can go to your doctor. You can do all of that. But no one is going to take care of you like you.
Right.
Nobody is going to take care of you like you. Nobody knows what you need. If you listen to your body, again, warning comes before destruction. If you listen to your body and you pay attention, your body will start telling you what you need before it's deficient in it. And so you just go ahead and you replace those things, right? Some people don't even pay attention to, and this is something that I found out, and this is something that helped to, clear up my skin, is zinc. Zinc. Z-I-N-C.
Yeah, I've been taking zinc.
A lot of people don't
B12
even,
and all that. Yeah.
a lot of people don't even pay attention to zinc.
That's
Zinc,
very important.
magnesium, different stuff like that. Like, come on, our different irons and stuff in our body. They just overlook that. Vitamin D, I just, go and do this. Just go outside. Go outside. It's natural stuff. Vitamin D is found in the sun. I don't want to be in the sun. I don't like the sweat. That's what baby say. She don't say sweat.
Yeah.
She say I don't like the sweat. Then she don't like to sweat because it makes her itch, right? What does that do? It's detoxing the skin.
Yes, opening the pores.
It's opening your pores and detoxing. But we're taught that we don't like stuff like that. You know, when you need to get used to stuff like that, get used to your body taking care of itself. Get used to being healthy. Get used to the signs of your body being healthy instead of the signs of your body just coping with where you are right now. It's not okay. And if that's how you want to live your life as average, go ahead. But 99% of us don't want to live our life average. 99% of us want to be rich. And 99% of us want to be strong enough to spend the money when we get rich. Okay? So make sure that you're paying attention to your body and giving your body what it needs when the warning lights goes off.
Right.
You know, when you're coughing and stuff like that, that means that your mucous membrane is starting to inflame and your mucus and stuff is growing. You know, start to drink your hot teas and get that stuff, push that stuff out of you. Again, water is very, very, if I can't say anything else, if I had to give you one thing to do, it would be water. Water takes care of a lot of things. And I found this out when I was in the military. Every time you ask for anything or you say anything, you say anything, the military be like, drink water. You know, my leg hurt, drink water. My head hurt, drink water. I'm tired, drink water. I broke a toe, drink water. Like they always said, drink water. And we walked around with these canteens on us or whatever. And they would come around, you know, our drill sergeants and stuff like that would come around and they would shake your canteens. Those that are in the military that's on here, they could attest to this. They would shake your canteens to make sure that your canteens were always full and that you were always drinking water. So make sure you drink your water. It's very important. Warning comes before destruction, guys. Your body will tell you when something is wrong. Please listen to it. Hopefully you guys shared this and hopefully you guys got some from this. Send it out to your people. You never know who you may be helping. Sharing this content is the simplest and easiest thing you can do. You hit the share button and hit submit or hit send or whatever. It's just that easy.
It don't cost nothing to keep positivity going.
Yeah, you don't even have to put a title or a quote, a hashtag or nothing. Just hit share and hit submit. That'll help support this particular channel and support the show. And you never know who you may be helping out there.
Right.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for me, G. What you got?
Miss Butterfly Beast.
Already. Fitness by Nori, baby. Make sure y'all come and see me. We are at the DeSoto Recreation Center tomorrow at 7 a.m. And most of the people have been gravitating to 8 a.m. So you decide which one you want to come to, the 7 a.m. circuit or the 8 a.m. hit and fun party. It's totally up to you. 211 East Pleasant Run Road in DeSoto, Texas. I hope to see you guys there. This has been your Lunchtime Power Hour. Your girl, Miss Butterfly Beast of Fitness by Nori. And I'm out.